Obviously, like I would sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to create this look, I'm going to do this. And obviously, it doesn't turn out the way I want it to be or like how I envisioned it. To be honest, I just post it. I'm just like, you know what? I posted it. Whatever you want to do with it, so be it.
Yeah.
Like to show that even though like with imperfections in my head, it doesn't really matter. Like someone else can resonate with the look that you just created because I don't typically love it. Doesn't mean that it should be discarded.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Refocus, a Styled by Nif production. I'm your host, Nifemi Ashani, and today we have our wonderful guest, Whitney Onwubuya.
Yeah.
Whitney is a Nigerian-born, Edmonton-based content creator known for her vibrant makeup, fashion, and lifestyle content. Drawing from her rich Nigerian heritage and Canadian experiences, she seamlessly blends culture elements to create unique and captivating visual content. Her makeup tutorial empowers and inspires, while her bold fashion sense reflects her belief in personal expression. Whitney's lifestyle post offers insights into wellness, travel, and personal growth, building a very loyal and engaged community. As a champion for diversity and inclusion, she advocates for representation in beauty and fashion, encouraging brands to celebrate all skin types and body types. Whitney's journey showcases the power of passion and authenticity, making her a trendsetter and culture ambassador in the digital world. Whitney, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Thank you for the intro.
Of course. It's so great to have you here. You're looking stunning.
Thank you. You
wow,
look
Niger
amazing
babe.
as well. Got to represent.
I love it. Tell us, can you describe your style in 3 words?
Okay, so I would say comfortable. I guess you say unique to who it prefers. And I like vibrancy, so vibrant.
Yeah. I could definitely do that. Even with your makeup, I always watch your makeup tutorials. I'm like, wow, like I wish I could do these such creative looks, but you are always killing it.
Thank you.
What message do you think or believe your style conveys to the world?
Well, I think my goal for makeup is basically to showcase the fact that you shouldn't be afraid to play with makeup. Like that's why we have makeup, and you can literally convey the way you feel through the makeup you wear.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like a form of outlet for me, and just showing people that there's so many things you can do with makeup. Like you don't really need to do the same makeup style every time, which there's no problem with that. But just like play around with it, have fun with it, and just enjoy yourself. Basically.
No, I love that. I love how like on your Instagram you embody this like sense of helping people understand how they can create their own looks through all the different experimental looks that you do.
Yeah.
It always inspires me. I know for sure that, wow, like if she can do it, like let me try something. Even though I remember you did like the eyebrows, like the thin eyebrows at one point, and I actually tried it and it looked good.
Yes,
so yeah. So you've been putting out some like really good like inspirational looks.
Okay,
but I would love to know, like, how did you start like content creating? Like what year did you start creating content, beauty, and fashion?
I've always been creating content, but it wasn't called content creating. I've always been like creating content here and there since like high school. First of all, it started with like Facebook, and we're just posting pictures, nothing too crazy. And then we transitioned to like the Snapchats, the Vines, the Keeks. I'm old, sorry. For the Gen Y or whatever. But yeah, like the Keeks and everything. And then it transitioned to Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was just posting, also YouTube. I was posting on YouTube, but wasn't really like consistent. It was more like an outlet. Like I was still in school at that time. I had a tight schedule. So it was only like when we had holidays, then I posted And then I took content creation seriously during the pandemic, as a lot of people like kind of started discovering like their creative side. But yeah, that is basically when I started. So like 2019, so 5 years ago now, around then, I started like playing with makeup. I always knew how to do makeup, but like trying more creative, editorial, fun looks. And yeah, I'm someone that I cannot like do one thing all the time. So I typically like to add a little bit of something to my makeup. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this and seeing where it goes.
I love that. I love how like the journey from all the different platforms.
I was just we're just everywhere.
Yeah. But I love, one thing I really love about your content is how you incorporate like your cultural like background. Like walk us through like how your cultural like background has an influence, like influences your creative content.
Well, I really love, like, I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria, I'm Igbo. So I really like to tap into that. Like even the simplest things as cowries and all those things, like we have different drawings and there are different like teachings of what each symbols meant like during the days. So like even incorporating that to some of my looks sometimes. I think I did a collaboration with the Black Panther with MAC Cosmetics. And like I felt like that was a good way to really tie in like my Nigerian culture with the makeup look. So in those ways, I try to bring those out. Basically.
I love that. What would you say is like one of the most like successful collaborations or your favorite collaborations you have ever done so far?
I think I don't think it would be like a collaboration. I think it was just a realization that, wow, okay, maybe I'm doing something. When when MAC Cosmetics reached out to me to send me stuff, I was like, oh, that's major, because like every girl kind of grew up with MAC Cosmetics. It's either you're seeing it from your mom, you're like someone around you, right? So to have that kind of like recognition from a top brand that you've always looked up to, I think that was like a major one for me. So yeah, I would say that, if anything.
No, that was actually a really cool project. Y'all should definitely check that out. That was really cool. What would you say are some of like the initial challenges you faced like early on in like content creating? And do you feel like you still face those challenges now, or you've been able to like overcome them?
I think a major challenge that I encountered initially was kind of asking myself, like, what are you doing? Like, kind of thing. Like, just asking yourself, like, oh, I'm just here, like, making up and just filming this video. Like, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? So that's self-doubt and that's like imposter syndrome, like, comes into play. And it was major initially, but like now it's a bit calmer, but it's still there once in a while, because like there's so many talented people, and then you get in that headspace of asking yourself, like, yeah, you make up, but is your makeup good enough? Like, kind of thing. But it's always to remind yourself, I believe in God and I involve God in everything. And it's to ask myself, like, there's a reason why God has directed me towards this station of my life. And like asking God for guidance and asking God for like, to remember my why, to remember the reason why I started. I started because I wanted to have fun and also like tell people that it's okay, that there's no limits to the amount of things you can do with your makeup and how you can dress and how you can express yourself. So just remembering that and remembering the fact that you are you and no one else is like you. So
no, I love that. I really love that. Going into just like how you're able to create like fresh and engaging ideas, right? You partnering with God, partnering with the Holy Spirit to like, you know what, this is what I want to create, want to put out there. And one thing I've noticed about I feel like this word is like very cliche, but like authentic. Like every time I see you, I always see like authenticity in what you do. And even in the engagement of like your community and people who engage with your content, I look at the comment sections and I can see just how people are just just the vibe, the energy and the frequency there is so high.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, like, how do you keep your content like fresh and engaged? What do you do to be like, okay, you know what? I think this is gonna like hit, or this is going to resonate with the community that follows me. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a good question. I think most times I get my inspiration from music. TikTok is a major thing now. So there's a lot of things like I listen to music and I'm like, okay, I can do this transition with this look and with this thing. And so music is a huge part of my creation. I like to listen to the beat and see what goes with it. Like my sister always watches me, like she watches me do these transitions and she's just like, why would you do that? What is that? But then in my head, it makes sense. Even sometimes, obviously, like I would sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to create this look. I'm going to do this. And obviously, it doesn't turn out the way I want it to be or like how I envisioned it. To be honest, I just post it. I'm just like, you know what? I posted it. Whatever you want to do with it, so be it. Like to show that even though like with imperfections in my head, it doesn't really matter. Like someone else can resonate with the look that you just created. Because I don't typically love it, doesn't mean that it should be discarded, right? So in terms of inspiration, music is a huge thing for me. And to be honest, I see my surroundings. I see like colors, drawings, and I see other artists too, like what they do with their looks, and just like taking inspiration from wherever I see it, and then just adding it to whatever I create, to be honest.
I love that. And I can see that like every time you add music, it's always a freshness. And I even love how you even engage with people in your stories. So I want to look into more like your community. How is community, like why is community so important to you when it comes to creating the content you create, engaging with them, literally speaking to us on your stories? I especially remember when like is it Love is Blind? Love Island? It comes in. I remember like, okay, let me go with this story because I know she's got tea. So I'd love to know like why is community important as a content creator, especially being in Edmonton, being an Edmonton content creator? Like, why is your Edmonton community important to you, and how have they helped you sort of like just keep going or keep pushing yourself further in creating and bringing more like new and innovative content into the media?
I think to have community is so important because like community, those are the people that give you the foundation and the support you need. To be honest, even when I do those content, I'm not even thinking of like, oh my gosh, this is going to help me build my community kind of thing. It's just basically like, I'm watching this show. It's so hilarious. Please come and see the craziness I've seen, kind of thing. So, and it's so crazy that people resonate with that. And they're like, oh my gosh, like the first thing I want to see about a new show is like your stories. Which is really cool. I did not know that was a thing, but like hearing it a lot from people is really like, it reaffirms the fact that, okay, people are really interested in what you're saying, or people want to like buy into what you have to say, what you have to give. And like the Edmonton community, yes, we might be small, but we're very supportive and we're very like, especially the Black community, they love to see people thrive. And I like that. And it's just so refreshing to have those kind of like comments and like affirmations, basically telling you that you're doing a good job and just like resonating with whatever I create. So it's just, it's really cool. It's really cool.
I love that. I love that. How would you say your local how would you say local community, the local creative community could be better supportive or better supported, you know?
I think it's like speaking louder about what we do, like not backing off or stop talking about it, like still putting ourselves out there, still going for like things that are like, I guess, defined as unattainable, and just like keep going and keep like talking about it, keep connecting with other people, keep like being there for one another. Like
Yeah.
if there's an event, if there's like something going on, just like supporting, right? So I think those are the major ways that we can support each other in that sense in the creative space of Edmonton.
I love that. And how would you say, like, what is like one challenge that you have experienced recently that you've been able to overcome as a Edmonton creative?
That's a good one. I think being an Edmonton creative, there's a lot of challenges when you're a content creator because, like, people would say, like, who knows Edmonton or where is that kind of situation. So I think the major thing with that is being able to reach more people, have a broader audience, and like having a broader reach, basically. So I think that is the major challenge that I am experiencing now. So it's just like, okay, I've built the community here. I want to like reach more people. So yeah, that's basically I'm trying to do that in certain ways in relating to people's experiences and relating to what people want to know. So yes, you're creating creative looks, but how do you do it, kind of thing? Or if I want to do something like this, how do I do that? So even now I try to start incorporating talking videos, like when I'm dressing up or when I'm making up. And I didn't do that before. I was like, I'm not talking. Like, who is going to talk? Who am I talking to? So, and that's why I liked stories, because stories is just like, okay, cool. But talking on your page, I was like, this is going to be something. But yeah, I overcame that by doing voiceovers. Like if you're not confident, like talking straight into the camera, voiceovers are a good tool to utilize.
I love that. If you could offer like one piece of advice to an aspiring content creator, would it be, drawing from your own experiences and challenges that you have overcome? Because I know there's a lot of people now are starting to do content. And we see a lot of the same things.
I understand. Yes.
You see a lot of the same things. And I feel like one thing that I love about the content you create is how you make your personality stand out.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're creating like content of like beauty or fashion, but it's like you incorporate elements of like your culture, you incorporate elements of like, oh, this is what I'm watching, it's what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So it's very creative that this is Whitney.
Oh,
we know who you are, right? And I think a lot of times I've seen other content creators, it's like, okay, cool, but I don't really like know you. Like you're not really sharing enough information with me. So, and for me, I used to be that type of person where it's like, I would not follow content creators.
Oh yeah.
But in the recent year, I was like, okay, I'm starting to find people who are like, their personality is shining through, right? So what would be an advice you feel based on like what you've noticed in the content creating world, being that you're a veteran? You know what I mean? You've been in the game for a while. So it's like other people who are starting up, there's young people who are coming in and wanting to create content. Like what advice would you give to them?
First of all, thank you for saying that, because like sometimes when you create content, and I would say this for people that are just starting, like when you're creating content the first time, you are not sure of what you're doing. And sometimes that's very tricky, being vulnerable. I think being a content creator, you're very vulnerable. You're vulnerable to people's criticisms because you're sharing your passion with the world and you're putting it on display for people to kind of score or like criticize or like say, hey, you're doing great. So it's a lot of like showing your cards and like hoping for the best. And to be honest, I would say if that's something you want to do, just do it. And don't be pressured to share too much. Don't be pressured to share more than you should share. I think we're in the current, like before this wasn't a thing, but like we're in the current days of people sharing so much about their personal life and they don't feel comfortable doing that. But because people are like, you need to show your personality. There's so many other ways to show your personality. There's so many other ways to like come across, like bring the message you're trying to send across. than sharing so many like parts of yourself that you're not even comfortable sharing. So I would say take it one step at a time. It's okay. There's no pressure, and there like everybody's race is not the same.
Yeah.
And we all have goals and aspirations, and we want to reach maybe a certain number. Don't look at the numbers as well. I think that's also something I would tell myself and every other creator. Don't look at the numbers. The numbers is like a cage. You're caging yourself. You're caging yourself, and that will like play on your psyche. So like on your creative outlets, like something that you saw as an outlet before becomes like work. It becomes like, oh God, now I have to do this and perform for these people again. So just be yourself, put out what you want to put out.
Yeah.
If it's something like, if you believe in God, speak to God about it. And just do your thing, man. Like, you don't know who is going to resonate with whatever you're putting out there. Like, just do it. Like, don't hold back. Go for it.
Yeah. No, I love that advice, because I even like, for me too, that's one thing that I was sort of battling last year. I was like, oh, I want to create fashion content, but I don't really want to create like style content. Even though I'm a stylist, like that's not like my way of like really expressing.
Yeah.
I love like sharing like insights, education. So I started doing that, and I saw like, oh, okay, this is like working for me. This is my way of doing things. Like, but I had to go through all like the testing of like, oh, trying this, trying that, until it landed for me. I was like, okay, this is more like me.
That's
right.
good.
Not saying I don't like the Get Ready With Me videos. They have their place. But, you know what I mean? But it's like, I just didn't feel like fulfilled. So I'm changing clothes. Okay, the next clothes. You know what I mean?
And
so
that's
it's like,
good.
it's good that you're trying things out, but then eventually you find like that style that is unique to you. So I love that advice, because it just brings you down to earth. And it's like you're more authentic. Going back to the word, more authentic with your audience of like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I like to do. This is what I don't like to do. And I love what you said about like not having to share so much.
You don't need to share so
much.
much.
That was one thing that I was like, I'm not trying to share. You know what I mean? Like, some people are bold that they're doing like day in my life weekly vlogs. I'm like, kudos to y'all.
I cannot. Even the apartment vlog. I'm just like, I've watched too many serial killer shows. I know how this pans out, okay? If they want to come and take me, they know what room to go into. So there's so many things like you have to have, and that's another thing, you have to have boundaries.
Boundaries, yes, that's the word I was thinking.
You have to have boundaries with social media. Like as much as you want to give out so much and you're so excited to share about this moment with people, be careful. Like be careful, because now you're putting it on something like YouTube. Like who is watching? You don't know. Like you don't know who is watching you.
That's so true.
As much as like, yes, don't hold back, bring out everything that you have to offer. Also know like, okay, what am I comfortable with sharing? Am I comfortable talking about my family issues on the World Wide Web? Or do I just like, keep it what I need to keep it as?
No, exactly. And that's really good advice. What would you say was a turning point that significantly like boosted your growth in content creating? Can you like pinpoint any time in your career, like, oh, like because maybe you shared this series of content, now you're able to experience this growth of like maybe engagement or like opportunities that came your way? Could you share any with us?
I think the one I can think of is when I did, there was a time I actually like creating content when I do outfits inspired by shows or stuff like that. So I did one about like Nigerian teachers. So that was the one, like, I think that was like just after pandemic. And it brought in a lot of Nigerian community. And it was like a lot of people saying, I know that my English teacher was that. I know.
Oh, I actually remember that video. Yes, I remember.
So like, because Nigerian teachers are very interesting people. If you're Nigerian, it was very niche, but like, it was very interesting seeing people relate to that. And I think with that, it kind of helped me look at like even fashion a different way. You know, the way you say that you don't want to like get up and get dressed and everything, like I also find that very boring myself, like dressing up every day. Okay. But having that piece of nostalgia and people like tying into that's another form of people like tying into an experience, right?
And storytelling.
So, exactly. So it's like finding those things that you can tie in and relate to people. It's something you enjoy doing. It's fun. But then you will relate it to like a whole new community of people that are just like, okay, yeah, that's funny.
No, I remember that video. That was actually funny. But I think for me, I was like, oh, it made me wish that I went to school in Nigeria because like I did grow up in Nigeria, but I also moved to South Africa at a young age, right? So I never experienced like a lot of people talking about boarding school. I was like, me, I don't know. I was reading the comments like boarding school. Yeah, people, oh my goodness, boarding school. I'm so it was a lot. It was like boot camp. And I was like, wow, I
want to experience this.
I actually don't, because the stories that I hear, I'm just like,
girl, please.
Nigerian boarding school actually makes you.
Oh, it creates you to be a very resilient human being in this world.
So I just love seeing like how like people were able to remember those days through the video that you created, right? So that's actually really, really cool. Wow.
I did that, and I also did like, I think I did one of like 90s, like class of the 90s or something. And it's just like, oh, the smart guy, the this, the that, and like also that's also another piece of like relating to people, right? You're enjoying yourself. It's a fun content. We're not educating anybody, we're just having fun kind of thing. So it's just like,
I love that. Just to pick your brain a little bit around like just like the process and the planning, like could you share your process for planning and producing like a content? Like what does that go like? What's that process like? Do you shoot everything like on the same day or a few days? Do you have like some sort of calendar that you use? Like what helps you sort of like stay consistent?
So I work full time, and so every free time I have is a chance for me to do something. So it's either the free time during the week. I usually use like during my work week to like edit the videos I shot over the weekend. And then I like to post like 3 to 4 times a week, give or take. There are people that are posting every day. Kudos to them. I cannot. But yeah, like I just I try to like have what I need to film before the weekend. So if I'm going to do a makeup look, I know I'm going to do this makeup look, and then a couple of fashion videos. If it's a lifestyle content, maybe if it's something I shot over the week and I just edit it. So basically that's how it is for me. I don't really have, I know people have calendars and they're just like, okay, today I'm going to post this. And it's good, have that. I don't really have that. I just like edit a bunch of videos and I'm just like, okay, today I want to post this. Today I want to post this. Yeah, because honestly, I do not like sometimes I don't really like a lot of structure because it makes it like so rigid for me. And I'm just like, okay, no, I can't do that. So something to still make it fun and exciting. And I also work so well under pressure. So
talking like a true Nigerian.
I work so well under pressure. I'm just like, yes, I need to post tomorrow. I'm feeling all this adrenaline. I'm just saying, yes. Yes, let me edit this. But yeah, like, so basically that. But if you want more structure, there are so many apps to put you on that, and then you can schedule your posts if you want. And that's basically.
I like how you just like a free flow baby.
Yes, like, I am. It's a blessing and a curse. It really
like
is
a very chill guy. Like I love it. Going back into more so like the community, Edmonton community, and how, you know, you've been in Edmonton for a while, you've been creating content here. What do you feel like is something that the Edmonton creative community can do to basically grow and improve? Because I've been talking to other creatives, and one thing I've heard from most creatives that there's need for more community, there's need for more collaboration. I know we also spoke about it, you know. So what do you feel like, you know, what is sort of lacking, first off, in the Edmonton creative community? And then more so, like, in what way could we grow and start working on those things that we're lacking as a community?
I think it is a very important thing to have community here, especially with the creative field and the creative stance of things, because sometimes when you're creating content or the kind of content you're creating in a place like Edmonton, where people would term like, okay, you're here to work or you go to school kind of thing, it's like you're doing things alone, basically. You feel like you're on an island and you're just doing whatever. And that's how I felt initially. But I like the fact that honestly, Edmonton is trying in its own way. Like organizations like La Connectional is there to like bring people together and other like creative people to a space that everyone is there to just like have a good time but still connect. So we need more of those kind of things. There's a creator in, I think, Toronto. Her name is Monique, I think, and she's privileged to be in a position where she has gotten all these followers and she's gotten all these experiences, brands and everything, and she decided to host like a creative event. So she didn't wait for the brands to come to her. She didn't wait for the brands to reach out to her. She reached out to the brand. She was like, this is my idea. I want to bring creatives together in my city. And this is it. So she collaborated with a bunch of brands, and you could see all the creatives in Toronto there.
Wow.
And it was really inspiring to see that, because it showed that like you can still do it by, like, you can do it on your own. Like you can still have that kind of community that you want to see. You can create that community you want to see, basically. So sometimes I think people are like, oh, like, where is the community? What do we do? You could do it. Like, you can take that step. What do you want to see in your city? Like, what do you want creatives to be in a certain space? Like, what kind of events do you want to have? You can reach out to creatives and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Do you want to do something like that? So I think it's just like taking that step, seeing what other people are doing and seeing how you can incorporate that to basically creatives in Edmonton. So I think it's just like, honestly, just being bold and going after it and create the space you want to see.
What is the space you want to see?
Honestly, I want to see a space that we are able to collaborate with a lot of brands. Like, I think those brand events are so good because there's swag bags and everything, fine. But it's a way to meet other people that you've seen online, have conversations with them. They share their experiences with you, and you're just like, those events are so good, but because like you don't feel delusional. Like you don't feel like, you talk to them online here and there, but then you're seeing them face to face and they're sharing those experiences with you face to face. So it's like, it ties back to the sense of community, right? I want to see a space where we are all in one room and we are like united and we're just supporting each other. Like there is no form of competition or like form of like friction or weird stuff like that. But it's just a place that we can come together, help ourselves grow, help each other in whichever way possible, and just like keep creating. Like, sometimes we have creative blocks. Those kind of spaces will be good to like get out of those, right? So sometimes you just need to be in a different environment, or you just need to be surrounded with people that are like-minded for you to be out of that rut. So even motivate you to do something else or something different.
No, I like that. I feel like that would be really cool to have that in Edmonton, where we can have like host like brand events and bring like other creators in the space and the brands there, like, I don't know, giving a speech or talking about their new things and how content creators can get involved and whatnot. Like, that's really cool. I'd love to get to know more about like how creatives, like what advice could you give to creatives to get brand deals or be able to access brand deals? I feel like that itself is already like a task on its own, right? Because you're creating content, yes, but now I feel like there's some people, they're at a crossroad in their content creating journey where it's like, okay, I think it's time. I feel like I'm ready to now start partnering with fashion brands or beauty brands. Like, what advice could you share for anybody who's at that crossroad?
I would say, first of all, have a list of brands that you feel passionate about and you love to collaborate with. Sometimes, like, it's good to have brands or collaborate with brands that you see yourself in. Have those brands. And I feel like don't wait for brands to reach out to you. Reach out to the brands, right? As much as you feel like, oh, I'm doing this work, and sometimes even creatives that are very big, they tend to feel like the brands should reach out to them. No, like if you want to reach out to a brand, reach out to a brand because you know what you have to offer. You know what you bring to the table. Create. If you want to create for that brand, like create for that brand and tell the brand, okay, this is my pitch. This is what I want to do. This is my analytics. This is the products I've used from your brand before, which is really important because like if you're coming to a brand and you're showing them that, hey, like, okay, I love this a lip pencil. I love this lip gloss. Okay, like they need to see that you've used it before. So it's cool to have those kind of like collaborations with brands, but you've used their products. Pitch to them, have your list, reach out to them, tell them what you have to offer, and just go for it. It's okay if you get declined. Like, there are some brands that will not go for it, but still go for it, right? Numbers don't matter. Like, even though you have a small following, I've seen people with 500 followers get sponsorships.
Wow.
Yeah, so like go after it. Like, because most brands are not looking at your numbers, they're looking at your engagement.
That's true.
Who is going to buy my stuff? So go for it.
I love that. This will be our last question. What are your future goals currently right now as like a content creator? Like, I would say most like, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years, or like a milestone that you hope to achieve along the journey as a content creator?
Well, I pray I pray that I see myself like, collaborating with brands that I'm very passionate about. I pray that I see myself collaborating with Fenty Beauty. I really love that brand. I want to see myself like also giving back to things that I did not know, like sharing things that I did not know with people that are starting up or like trying to get to where they're trying to get to in terms of like being a content creator and just like giving back in any way possible. To be honest, I just want to like give back because I think when I started, I did not have a lot of that. And I think it's just good to like help people get to where they want to go to. And obviously like I see myself growing like bigger and better. So definitely all those things tied together.
Yeah, no, I love that. I see that for you too.
Thank you.
See that for you. Thank you so much, Whitney, for joining us today, for sharing your insights and experiences with us. Before we conclude, could you please let our audience know where they can connect with you further?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest at Zemi Fenty. It's the same name on all social media platforms. So yeah, you can connect with me on there.
Awesome. And a big thank you to our audience for your active participation and thoughtful engagement throughout the series. And for those interested in revisiting today's conversation or accessing our educational resource in collaboration with Whitney today, you can find the recording and related materials on our website and social media platform. We would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to our sponsors, Strong Coffee Marketing and Fine Edmonton, for their support in bringing today's episode episode, making today's episode possible. Your contribution has been instrumental in empowering us to continue to bring quality content to our audience. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day, everyone. Till next time. Bye. Thank you for tuning into Sunday Refocus, where we embark on a journey of empowerment and growth for emerging creatives in the fashion industry. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you've been inspired by the stories and advice shared by today's guest feature, please don't forget to like this, subscribe to our podcast channel, follow us on Instagram, and share this with your fellow creative friends.